Why? Because they're afraid of making the investment for themselves because they don't see themselves worthy of it. They see the worth of a TV that is going to provide for them certain amount of satisfaction up until the moment that that's no longer the need of their life. But what I want to like to bring into people is the awareness of what? What is your self-value, your self-worth? What do you want? And it comes to what you just talked about, Abraham Maslow in the triangle, right? So at what level are we are on in life? Which is the level that you are standing right now and where you want to get? Because it's all about that. It's about envisioning ourselves to where we want to be. No matter where you are in life, you were created to want more, to seek out more. And how do we seek out more and how do we get to where we want to be? Well, James Allen in the Cement Teachings, he said that we don't attract what we want. We attract who we are. And that line is powerful in my life because who am I? And who I want to become? What and how I want to become that. So it starts within you. Start within every one of us. Your ideas. You need to be able to shape those ideas and those thoughts into an image. You shape those ideas into an image and you portray that and you envision that and you put the energy towards that. The key is about becoming a vibrational match to what you want to be. And it took me a long time for me to get to that level because I come from a different background where we were able to see how people were becoming successful in certain terms, but not doing the right thing. So I always believed that doing the wrong thing was going to be the right way for me to get to where I wanted to be. And when I came to the understanding that it didn't have to be that way, everything changed. And I started to envision a life in a different path. So if it's something that I can say about what I do and how I have been able to become and to get to where I am, it's about envisioning, portraying and picturing myself in that moment where I want to be. And this is all about, and a lot of people don't believe in the fact that you can see yourself eventually in the future. But I always invite people to see themselves in the future. Where do you want to be? How do you feel in that moment? What is it that you will do in that moment? How will you talk? How will you react? What are the topics that of conversation in that life, in that moment where you are in the future? And when you are in that future, then you bring that energy because it has a feeling tone of vibration. You feel certain type of way in the future. And you bring that energy, you start performing from that energy. If you remember in one of the lessons we talked about the person that wants to go to Italy but doesn't know how to make it. And
three Italian words a day. Fabio, the lesson was so beautiful. 3 Italian words a day.
Yeah. It's exactly what you need to put yourself in the vibration of what you want to become. You don't need to know the how. You only need to know the what and the why. Why are you doing it for and why you want to do it for? The how will work out itself and it will turn into a place in the moment that you see it, the moment that you embrace it. Even though you don't know how you're going to get to Italy, that was part of the lessons that I say, you need to start putting yourself in that vibration, learning 3 words of Italian a day. Looking online to the places that you would like to visit when you get to Italy. And the more that you do it, guess what? The more that the universe starts to align with your purpose and your desire, and things start to happen. For example, for my son that he's planning to come and get certified in August, I put him in this vibration, and we're reading a book together. It's called The 21 Qualities of a Leader. So we read 4 qualities per month. It's just four qualities, and we read those over and over and over. And we read the same exact book. His book is my book. I read the same book, and I see his highlights, and I see my highlights. And then we sit down and we talk about them. But for me, what amazes me is the things that he highlights, how he highlights them and what he thinks about it. Because he's putting himself in that moment. And I encourage him to live through it. And that's exactly what it makes the difference in our lives. And you know it, Steve. You know that you are a believer and you know what it takes to put yourself in that moment, even though you don't know how. You're going to start acting and performing to get there. Like you already there. And that is the important thing that we need to, it's acting in a certain way. But before you act in a certain way, you have to think in a certain way. You have to believe that this is the way that life looks like for you in that moment. Whatever it is that you dream, you need to believe in that dream. And I can quote something about Think and Grow Rich. It cannot be just a want. It has to be a burning desire. You have to want it with all that you have. One of the things that I always say in energy, it's amazing. I always say that I remember when I was a kid and I was going to school and I had, when you are young and you have the little girl, the girl at your classroom that you like, but she doesn't pay attention to you no matter what. And I remember I catch myself in my dinner table at home thinking of the girl. And what I was thinking was, will I be able to see her tomorrow at the bus stop? Will I be able to sit down with her? Will she be able to, will she say hello to me? And guess what happens the next day? The more that I thought about it the next day, there we go. I saw her in the bus stop. Who I was sitting next to in the bus, next to her. She say hello to me. That I didn't have the courage to say anything else, that's a different story. But the things were working because I was putting my energy and my vibration to that. And that works exactly to anything that we do. We need to fall in love with what we want. And you know this, Steve, because I know that you have a desire, you have a dream, you have a purpose to help the people in the prison. And I know it, and I feel it. We haven't met personally yet. But I feel every single time that we talk, I feel your energy and your vibration towards that purpose. And I believe in that purpose more than anything in the world. Because I know it's going to make the difference to everything in the life of those people that are trying to come back to society.
Thank you.
And I encourage that because guess what? We all come for a certain type of way. A certain way of being raised. You mentioned it before. You know what? Not everybody has the fortune to have two loving parents that care and do everything for them. But the conditions and circumstances cannot be the ones that dictate who we can become later on in life. These people made a mistake, went through something, they paid their dues, whatever it was necessary for them to do, and now they're coming back. And they have the opportunity and the desire to make a better life. And it's up to us, the ones that have a higher level of awareness, to encourage and to support them and to walk the path with them. Because that's exactly what we are called out to do. We are called out to live in a community, to work each other, but not to reject each other. We need to welcome these people. We need to find a way to help them. And what you are doing is what it makes the difference in the world for them and for everybody else too.
Fabio, thank you so much for that. I want to bring up a few things here that I want to let everybody know. Please remember that Design Your Empowered Year program has 4 people, Fabio, Miziel, John, and Leffert, that are all so desiring to help you have a better life and to get more out of life and fulfill your dreams, to find out what your dreams are. And if you go to the website I think we have set up, is called rightthinkingproject.yourempoweredyear.com. And if you go there, you can join your empowered year, and you can go into rightthink.org and contact me, and I'll help you go along that. But you need to connect with people that care about you, that are doing it the right way. And these people are doing it the right way. I want to sum something up real quick here. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow, a psychologist back in the early 1920s or 30s, somewhere there. I don't know his time frame, but he came up with this. And the levels are covering the basic needs, and it's basically that if a person is struggling and doesn't have food to eat, they're not going to be able to let their imagination go. They're too concerned with food, shelter, and clothing. And then as they get that, the next higher level is to get into security and safety. And then the next level is the desire to belong to something and meet your love needs, to have friends, to have intimacy. And then the next level is to get deeper into yourself and start to have some esteem and feel accomplishment and prestige. But then the highest level is the self-actualization, achieving one's full potential, including creative activities. Now, I want to just read a quote that Leffert, I apologize, I know you don't mind though, that Fabio said on the show that you did this week on the third module. It ended with this. And for those of you that are listening, I just want to pass something on to you. I listened to this, and the last 3 minutes of the show, I listened to it 7 times. I just kept hearing it again because I took notes. I took notes on it, and what I did was I wanted to get it word for word. And when you put that kind of effort into studying and working towards something that is that correct, that is that meaningful, you will grow. You will experience growth. So here's how the show ended. And this is Fabio García on his show on the module of self-awareness. By thought, the thing you want and desire is brought into your awareness. By intention and willingness, you come into an agreement with it. By faith, based on understanding, you take daily actions to move it into physical form. The very best thing that you can do for yourself is to operate from the highest level of awareness of your oneness with God and the potential that He has given you. Fabio, you are so beautiful in the way you articulate what we're here to try to become. I want to thank you for that. I got it exactly to the word. I listened to it 7 times and I corrected it each time until I was satisfied that I had it 100% the way you said
it. Thank you. Thank you so much. And one of the most important parts of that the way that we close is for people to identify their oneness with God, to recognize from where they come from, you know. And you know, you just did it beautifully right there. You should have emailed me and I would have sent it to you word by word, my friend. I know my accent is thick and it's not easy to understand sometimes.
Hey, let me change the subject for a second here. So what we did today was we had you come on and I wanted to introduce self-awareness, self-actualization. So awareness is kind of what we're talking about with thinking and understanding the universal laws and opening up the new possibilities that you talk about. Sometimes your truth might not be accurate and that you need to open yourself to new teachers and understand new truths. But let me do this. I think this will be interesting. When I listened to your first show, my wife had not been exposed to Abraham Maslow. And so I Googled it on the internet to the wiki for Abraham Maslow. And I came up with a part of the wiki and I printed it and it stimulated one of the deepest, most meaningful communications that my wife and I have had. And that's a big statement that I want to take because my wife and I, we communicate. We talk every day for an hour to 2 hours or so throughout, sometime in the morning, continue, throughout the day, sharing what life is and what we can do to fulfill it and reach what we want to do, to be there for other people and to put our plan into motion. So, Fabio, let me read you these things. Let's see. I got about 10 characteristics. We have 5 minutes to go, so I'll go quick. These are Maslow's self-actualizing characteristics. I'm going to read a description of one so that everybody will know what it means to be self-actualized. And I would like you to give me a comment on each one, and we'll try to get in 10 of them in 5 minutes. Are you ready?
All right, perfect.
These are people that are self-actualized. And all of you that are listening, no matter how hard your life is, stop thinking about how hard it is and start realizing how beautiful it is. Okay, here we go. Efficient people that are self-actualized.